The war between the Supreme Court and Senior Counsel Ahmednassir Abdullahi continues. Senior Counsel Ahmednassir Abdullahi is now alleging that a Supreme Court judge bought 3 houses in Lavington within a span of only 5 years. Ahmednassir Abdullahi Senior Counsel, replying to Makau Mutua, he was replying to a post by Makau Mutua. We're going to have a look at that post. Professor, just shows how small these judges are. They met in emergency sessions with files containing reams of my tweets over a 10 years period. Chief Justice Koome and Rasputin read the charges against me, and then in unison they cried loudly, "Guilty as charged." They further agreed that the best solution to fight corruption in the Supreme Court was to refuse me audience. Good thing is that these judges have Kenyan neighbors. Can we hear from their Kenyan neighbors? That is to say, how can a judge of the Supreme Court buy 3 houses in 5 years in Lavington, Nairobi? How? While others own prime properties worth hundreds of millions under fake trust deeds. Madam CJ, I know many things, including the extrajudicial. Senior Counsel was replying to a post by Makau Mutua yesterday. And Mutua had posted this, Professor Makau Mutua, the folly of banning Ahmednassir. And then he attached that Sunday Nation where he was explaining what that ban meant. So Senior Counsel replied to that. It's very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Before we have a look at the salaries of a Supreme Court judge, let me say this. In our yesterday's analysis, I did explain why the war between the Supreme Court and Senior Counsel Ahmednassir Abdullahi is not stopping anytime soon. I know there might be so many reasons why the war will continue, but I believe that there are 2 main reasons fueling that war. The first reason, Ruto might be using the Senior Counsel to fight the judiciary, and in this case, the Supreme Court, in preparation for 2027. Ruto wants to expose these Supreme Court judges, after which he'll just replace them. You know, the more they fight with Senior Counsel, a lot is going to be exposed. And that will give William Ruto the room of replacing them in preparation for 2027. William Ruto wants people he'll easily command and control. The second possible reason, Senior Counsel and William Ruto might have fallen out. So Ruto is using the court to deal with Senior Counsel. Senior Counsel has been left with no option but to fight back. And if the war continues, a lot is going to be exposed. But I'm seeing a Senior Counsel who still doesn't want to expose more because he still thinks he might amend his relationship with William Ruto. The more he exposes these judges, he might just as well be exposing William Ruto, because it's a fact he has been a staunch Ruto defender, and in 2022 he was to be William Ruto's lead lawyer, only for things to happen and he was dropped. And I did explain why he was dropped in our earlier videos. I'm seeing those as the main reasons fueling this war. I want us to dig deep into this. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's continue. How much does a Supreme Court judge earn? What salary and allowances do Supreme Court judges earn? According to the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, a Supreme Court judge earns a monthly pay of shillings 1.218 million. Previously, a Supreme Court judge used to earn shillings 757,770 in basic salary. This pay was then boosted by allowances and benefits that raised the total pay to shillings 1.082528. This meant that the allowances for the position of a regular Supreme Court judge could be equivalent to over shillings 324,758. Apart from salaries, judges in Kenya are entitled to benefits that include official transport, a medical scheme, pension, life insurance, and personal accident cover, among others. The Chief Justice salary and benefits stand around shillings 1.3 million. Deputy Chief Justice salary is at shillings 1.23 million. Those are the salaries of the Supreme Court judges. A Chief Justice will earn, together with the benefits, 1.3 million, Deputy 1.23, a regular judge at the Supreme Court 1.218. Is that enough to buy 3 houses in Lavington within a span of 5 years? And you know, they're just not buying any ordinary house in Lavington, but very expensive, the best houses in Lavington. Is that salary enough to buy those houses? That's a topic for another day. But above all, it's coming out very clearly that the Supreme Court bench is rotten to the core. The best thing, therefore, is for Martha Koome and her bench to resign. Can they resign? The answer is a very big no. They can't resign. So Kenyans should take it upon them to force these judges to resign. If there can be demonstrations on a daily basis at the Supreme Court, that pressure, in my honest opinion, is enough to force these judges to at least go. Because they are the weakest link in our judiciary. And that's also something I keep on repeating. So the war between the senior counsel and the Supreme Court is continuing. We know senior counsel has all along been a William Ruto ally. So when he says he knows a lot and the Chief Justice knows he knows, we are just requesting the senior counsel to spill more beans. I think that court has lost favor with Kenyans. It's the most unpopular court in our judiciary. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give this video a like. And just as I've been explaining in my videos, there is no difference between senior counsel and the Supreme Court judges. Kenyans don't trust any of them. They are all seen as corrupt. So I'm saying again, the center can no longer hold, things are falling apart. People seen as Ruto's allies are fighting themselves mercilessly without mercy. And we are still expecting more beans to be spilled. Let's meet in our next analysis.